Happy Friday. I'm really just here to do a Starbucks taste test. Why is this not on? Because I am trying these new, I think they're potato cheddar bites is what I ordered. Maybe they've always had these and I've just never seen them before. But I saw them a couple weeks ago, and then every time I would try and order them, they would be sold out. So this morning I was able to get my hands on some. They are the potato cheddar and chive bites. I got my regular vanilla sweet cream cold brew. It's a 10. This particular Starbucks didn't have any sugar cookie cold foam, but I had to go to that one because that was the only one that had these potato bites. So I'm really just here to do a taste test. I don't really have too much to say right now, aside from the fact that my hands are cold and my hand warmer is at home, and when my hands are cold, it's just hard for me to do anything. So this is what they look like. They're like little egg bite size. They're like 210 calories. They're good. I think I just want like an egg in it. And I don't think there's any egg in it. I think it's literally just potato, onion, cheese, and chive. But it's very good. If I had to pick between these and the egg bites, I really don't know. I think I would pick the egg bites if I felt like I needed protein. Like if I was really craving protein, but these are good. So good morning. That's all I have to say right now. Hi.
Morning. No hog store. It's too much for me today.
That's what I assumed.
Just a pizza. Okay, cool.
All I need to do is send the kids, right, as the item or the event ticketed.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure, and there needs to be a no ID sign and all of that. So I'm just assuming that you're gonna have campus support put the tables or wherever you're gonna have them scan.
Yeah. What was the part about the no ID sign?
Like if they don't have their ID, they have to get in a separate line.
The Amistad early kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. My principal. He's not the most organized man. And we have a house celebration today where the winning house gets pizza and they get to wear Crocs. But it's a ticketed event, meaning that they have to scan in to confirm only the right kids are showing up. And, you know, there's logistical things that need to be put in place, like tables and signs. And I think he forgets that. So, but yeah, good morning. My hands are cold. I'll talk to you later. It's hours later. It's 5 o'clock right now, I think. And I'm still in the classroom. Today has been a very, very hectic day. And just an update, I have changed my mind. I think the only thing I've talked to you about today are those potato and cheddar bites from Starbucks. I've changed my mind. They're good. They are good. But if I had to pick between one or the other, I would pick egg bites. Just because they were a little bit more filling. It almost felt like I was eating flavored air to some degree. But aside from that, it just has been hectic. Not necessarily in a bad way, but just like busy. One of those days where there's a lot going on and you don't really have time to like feel like you've gathered your thoughts all the way. Some student issues I had to deal with, some leadership stuff that we're working on that just requires a lot of mental energy. I just really felt scatterbrained. I think class went smooth, like everything I wanted to get done got done. But just in the process, I just felt like my mind was racing, you know, at 100 miles per hour, trying to think of all the things I need to do and make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So yeah, language arts, what we did is, do I have them with me? This is the last thing that they did before they have their assessment that I'm going to be giving them on Monday. But Taylor and I also just realized we have our school counselor scheduled to do a high school A through G requirement presentation with our class on Monday. So I'm not 100% sure what Monday is going to look like, because I just sent her an email asking her to confirm because she hasn't confirmed, and it's very possible that she forgot because we forgot. But they're supposed to take the assessment on Monday, and they absolutely positively have to do that. Hold on, I need to write something down that I have to do. Oh, I did write that down. Yeah, so the last thing that we did to prepare is today they worked with their group to identify the theme of Abuela Invents the Zero, and I used these placemats that I used before that kind of walks them through 4 steps. First, they on their own have to think about what they think the theme is and write that down in their book. Then they turn to their shoulder partner, discuss with them for a minute or two what they thought the theme was. Then they discussed as a group of 4 and came to a consensus as to what they thought the theme was, and then based on that consensus they had to find the strongest piece of text evidence to support it, and then we shared out as a class. Each individual group shared, and then we kind of debriefed. And so what I noticed in the share out, both me and the 8 that I work with, is that they were really good for the most part about picking a theme that makes sense. Like, I could see why you would say that's the theme of the story, but then the text evidence they would select didn't directly support the theme. So for example, one group's theme was something along the lines of, you know, think about how your actions affect the feelings of others. But the text evidence they selected was the part of the story where the main character, Constancia, knows that her grandmother is lost at church and is upset, but Constancia doesn't want to help her because Constancia is embarrassed and she thinks, you know, her classmates that are at the church will see her. So she's aware of how the grandma feels, but that does not prompt her to do anything. So we told them, like, the theme is correct, but the text evidence you're providing doesn't match what you're saying. So we had a couple groups struggling in that regard, so we talked about it. So that's all we're doing with Abuela Invents the Zero. Next week they're gonna take the assessment, like I said, and then we gotta jump back into them writing their stories that go along with Look Both Ways. They're really enjoying the Bill of Rights activity, but they're moving much slower than what I anticipated. They're working on it. They're just moving slow. And I think they're just really getting into what they want their theme to be, what picture they're gonna put in the boxes. So I will be curious to see what the progress is looking like when we get to school on Monday. So right now, I definitely need to pack myself up and get home. I have piles of paper that are organized, but piles nonetheless there. And then there that I need to put somewhere that is going to cause me less stress. Oh my gosh, that could have been dangerous. That's going to cause me less stress. There's still things that I need to grade, and I need to put up my spring decor, which means I need to switch out my window clings and change what's in the window. And I thought I was going to do that after school today, and I was wrong, because I'm not about to do that because that takes a while. So I'm gonna get myself situated. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go home, and maybe I'll check in there. I don't really have anything exciting to say, but we'll see. So I won't close the vlog here, but just a busy Friday. Okay, so it's about 6:30. I'm now home. I came home, walked Woofy. He's sitting right here staring at me. Took a shower, and now I'm in my very comfortable new set of pajamas that I got from Old Navy. And I'm getting ready to eat dinner. And my current life dilemma is I want to treat myself during dinner because it's Friday and that's what I do. And I just don't know if I want to treat myself to onion rings or ice cream. So it's either I want something salty and fried or sweet. And I think what I'm going to do is get myself a Frosty from Wendy's. But then just when I think I'm gonna do that, onion rings sound really great. And then the other thing is, you know how I said it was a very hectic day at work today? It was. And part of that hecticness was all surrounding an experience I had with DoorDash. So today is the first Friday of the month. And one of the things that the leadership teachers are trying to do is just to encourage staff members to eat together in the staff lounge at least once a month. So we have these first Friday lunches. We're not at a place where we could provide the lunch to teachers, but it's really just like, we're gonna decorate the lounge for you. So why don't you just come in during your lunch and eat in the lounge, just for the sake of like community. And if you eat up there, you get entered into a raffle where a principal either covers one of your class periods, or I think you get a gift card to Amazon or something. So yesterday I was telling Taylor and some of our coworkers, like, it's the first Friday lunch. I feel like we should have a special lunch. So do you guys want to DoorDash some food? The other teachers weren't really into it, but Taylor was like, yes. So today I told her I'm gonna DoorDash, but it's gonna be healthy because I normally eat like a cheat meal for dinner and I still wanted to do that. So we ordered from Waba Grill, which is pretty healthy. Like, they're chicken bowls where you get brown rice and vegetables and all of that. So I'm feeling all proud of myself because I redeemed some of my workout points that I had for a DoorDash gift card. So it was like my lunch was gonna be free. I got Taylor's order. She calls me and says, this is what I want. And I'm like placing the order so that I can schedule it to arrive like right during our lunch. So I'm over there and I'm doing this while in class because my aide is working with some students, and I'm like, let me get this placed in because I need to pre-schedule it. So I'm placing the order and I'm feeling all good about myself, and then I click submit, and as soon as I click submit, I realized I didn't change the address, so the food is about to go to my house at 12:15. So I literally, as soon as I click submit, so I immediately go on the little chat feature and say I need to change my address, or to the DoorDash site, because there was an option where it's like I need to modify my order. So I click that, say I want to change my address, but it doesn't allow you to manually type in an address that you want your food delivered to. It was providing me just a list of random addresses. I don't know where they were getting that from. One option it was giving me was to have my DoorDash delivered to Lucille's Barbecue, which is another restaurant, which made no sense. So then I have to go into the chat and request to speak to a live person. So a live person gets on, I let them know I need to change the address. They look up my order and say, oh, no, we can't change your address because now you're changing it to something that's outside of the delivery radius, which is crazy to me because my house is a mere stone's throw from my school. So the radius can't be that tight. But I'm like, whatever. The chat person's like, I can't change it, but you can contact your DoorDasher. Here's his number. So I call the DoorDasher and say I need to change the address of my order. And then pretty soon after I say that, he asked if I speak Spanish. And I said, I speak a little bit. And I say what I need to say in Spanish. And then he responds, and at first it's fine, but then he starts going. And I'm like, I have no, because he's talking a lot. It's not like a quick see, yes, I can change your address. No, está bien. Like, he's saying a lot, and now I'm like, I have no idea what this man is saying. So then the kids are working on their Bill of Rights poster. I have to call a student who speaks Spanish, and she comes into the pod with me, like that middle area, and I put him on speaker and I tell him I have someone here that speaks Spanish, and he's saying whatever he's saying. And even she initially was like, I don't know what he's saying. So then she asked him to repeat what he's saying, and he does. And she looks at me and she's like, he's saying that he can deliver it to a different address as long as you do him a favor. And I was like, what? And that's when the DoorDash order starts to get a little scary. So I'm like, I'm not doing anybody any favors for changing the address to my DoorDash. So I hang up, like, okay, I'm gonna hang up, and then I'm about to go cancel the order. But then he calls back and he's speaking again. So I have the student listen, and she's like, no, he's saying he can do it for you. And I'm listening to him, and he's like, no, it's fine. And he's saying all this in Spanish. So I'm like, okay. So we get off the phone, but then I go back to DoorDash and I get back on the chat. My arm is getting tired. And I put in the chat, like, the basic scenario. I needed to change my address. I was told to contact the DoorDasher, which I did. And he's saying, and I gave him my address. I said, but there was a language barrier. And so I want to make sure that if for some reason things were lost in translation and my food does not get delivered to the right place, that I get a refund. And the chat people on DoorDash are like, I can't change your address because it's already been submitted. You need to contact the DoorDasher. They kept telling me that over and over again. And at one point, I'm pretty sure I was yelling in the chat because I'm like, I know that. I did that. That's what I'm saying. I contacted the DoorDasher, explained what I needed to have done. There was a language barrier, so I'm not 100% sure that he understood what I need him to do. Then they just ignore me in the chat. So at the end of the bit, I'm like, well, I guess if worse comes to worse, he'll deliver the food to my house, and during lunch I'll have to go and get it because, again, my house is not too far away. So I just have to wait it out, and then eventually I get a text from the DoorDash person saying I'm here, and I'm like, at a school? And he's like, yeah. And so he sends me a picture, and sure enough, he's in the front of my school. And all was okay. But by that point, I had already some stressful things happen, so that was just adding to the stress. And I told Taylor, I said, that was the most dramatic DoorDash experience I've ever had. Multiple languages had to be spoken. At one point, he's telling me he needs me to do a favor. So it just got really crazy, but my food did come. We enjoyed our Waba Grill at lunch, and we felt like it was a special treat. So that's just a glimpse of the kind of Friday I had. So with that being said, I know I want some kind of treat for dinner. I just don't know if it's something sweet or salty. And I still don't know. I'm about to get in the car and I'm not sure where I'm getting ready to go. But so I'm gonna eat, and I'll probably do some work. I know that's pathetic on a Friday. You know what? It's not pathetic. Let me rephrase that. It's not the most exciting Friday, but honestly, when Fridays come, I don't really have a lot of energy to do anything. At most, I would be able to go to dinner with someone, but that's the most I can do. And even when I do that, I'm super tired. So Fridays, I like to take it light. So I'm gonna get some food, probably do a little work until I feel like I want to go to sleep. And the work that I need to do is kind of like, I just need to get things out of my head before I forget. And then that's gonna be it. So I feel like this is a very random vlog. I checked in with you this morning just to let you know if I like my Starbucks or not. Then I checked in to tell you it's just been a crazy day. And then I just gave you a long DoorDash story. But that was how my day went. So if you enjoyed this random vlog, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please feel free to do so. As always, all of those things help my channel and help grow the community. And as you know, I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. I'm getting closer and closer by the day. So thank you to everyone that's already subscribed. But if you haven't, please consider. And as always, I hope that you're well. And if you're not well, Whoopi, you good? Whoopi. If you're not well, please be well, and I will see you in the next vlog.